Imagine embarking on a journey with just a single idea, a concept so straightforward yet capable of igniting a cascade of innovation and success. This is the story of Richard Branson, who began with a humble magazine and through a sequence of deliberate and strategic steps, each marking a next 0 point, built the foundation of the Virgin Group. Each 0 point represents a critical phase in Branson's journey, a deliberate step towards building his entrepreneurial empire. In the late 1960s, the entrepreneurial spirit of Richard Branson began to stir. After a series of unsuccessful ventures that included selling Christmas trees, Branson recognized a unique opportunity in the market. He noticed that the youth of the day, though brimming with ideas and opinions, had no platform to express themselves or to even be heard effectively. This demographic, largely overlooked by mainstream media, was ripe for engagement through a medium that could resonate with their educational and social interests. Identifying this gap in the market was the first 0 point in Branson's career. He saw potential to create a product that not only served the need, but also aligned perfectly with his own passion for music, culture, and communication. This realization was crucial because it provided a focused direction for his energies and the resources at his fingertips. It was not just about finding the gap. It was about finding a gap where he could leverage his own interests and strengths, therefore increasing the chance of success and personal accomplishment. With this insight, Branson set out to create Student Magazine. This venture was aimed at student population, offering them a voice, a platform to discuss and engage with issues important to them. By tapping into this market, Branson was not just filling a need, but also establishing a loyal audience base that would prove pivotal for all his future business expansions. This decision to focus on students was strategic as it connected Branson with an audience that was both influential and underserved, setting the stage for a business model that could evolve with the times. Launching Student Magazine in 1966 marked Branson's next 0 point, an initial foray into the world of publishing and business that laid the groundwork for all his future endeavors. The project began modestly, operating out of a crypt of St. John's Church, London. This location, unconventional, but still affordable, reflected Branson's willingness to embrace the unconventional solutions if they work. The choice of church crypt also underscored a key entrepreneurial principle of just starting where you are. This can also be applied to anything in life you're looking to do. Use what you have and do what you can. It was here that Branson began to learn the ropes of business, facing challenges of magazine publishing head-on. In the early days, Student Magazine struggled to find its footing though. Although not immediate success, financial operational challenges were still abundant. These obstacles, although new, provided Branson with invaluable lessons in resilience, resource management, and the importance of being adaptable. Each issue of the magazine improved upon the last, and Branson learned, through quick feedback loops, how to engage with his audience more effectively, how to market on a shoestring budget, and how to manage a team while being under immense pressure. This 0 point was more than just running a magazine. It forced Branson to develop a network of contacts that would be essential for his future business ventures, even if he could not yet see it. He interviewed several prominent personalities of the late 1960s, which not only boosted the magazine's profile, but also established Branson as a significant player in the cultural dialogue of the time. These connections were instrumental in the magazine's early growth and popularity, as well as their influence. Through Student, Branson not only learned critical business skills such as marketing and management, but also inadvertently honed his skills in negotiation as well as strategic planning. As the magazine began to stabilize and grow, It became a platform not just for student voices, but also for Branson's burning ambition. It was through the magazine that he first experimented with selling records, leveraging the magazine's distribution network and reader base to tap into the music industry. This initiative would soon lead to his next 0 point, setting the stage for a transition from publishing to music sales. As Student magazine began to establish itself, Richard Branson's vision led him to identify another 0 point that would mark a significant pivot in his career trajectory. Leveraging the magazine's growing readership and his growing understanding of the youth market, Branson sidestepped into selling records. He realized that the same audience that was engaged by Student would likely be enthusiastic about music, particularly if it could be obtained more conveniently and at a lower price than the mainstream outlets offered. This realization came at a time when the music industry was ripe for disruption. Mainstream record shops and labels had long held tight grips on the pricing, as well as distribution, often to the detriment of consumers who were seeking more affordable options. Branson seized this opportunity to introduce a mail-order record service. Through his magazine, Student, this service advertised popular albums within the magazine, offering them a significant but reduced price compared to existing competition. This not only met a clear consumer demand, but also directly challenged the established retail norms, setting a precedent of what would later become the hallmark of the infamous Virgin brand. The mail-order record business was not without its challenges. It required Branson to level up and navigate new realms of logistics, supplier relationships, and customer service. Areas he had touched with the magazine, but now had to engage with on a more deep level. This venture tested his problem-solving skills and adaptability, pushing him to innovate solutions that would keep costs low. The business model also capitalized on trust and loyalty he had built with his readership, turning the magazine's audience into customers for the new venture. This strategic expansion was crucial because it did more than just generate additional revenue. It deepened Branson's engagement with the music industry, providing him insights and connections that would soon be invaluable. The success of the mail-order business demonstrated that Branson's instincts about market needs and consumer behavior were sound, reinforcing his confidence to pursue larger and more ambitious projects. Branson's approach to expanding his business was not only driven by his own vision, but also significantly influenced by his observations of other successful people. This next 0 point focused on learning from the external business environment, drawing lessons from the successes as well as failures of others in the industry. Branson paid close attention to how other record labels and music retailers operated, identifying gaps in their business models and areas where he could offer something different or better. He studied how the companies managed their supply chains, marketed their products, and interacted with their customers. This period of observation was critical in shaping Branson's approach to business. It allowed him to adopt best practices, avoid common pitfalls, and innovate in ways that would distinguish his ventures from the competition within the competitive landscape. For instance, he noted the unreasonable high markups on records in traditional retail and used this key knowledge to position his mail-order business as the affordable alternative, directly appealing to the cost-conscious segment in his magazine, played particularly well within. Due to Branson's interaction with various figures in the music industry, including artists and other record label owners, it allowed him to understand and network within the music world to blossom. Because of interviews with prominent personalities like Mick Jagger, he boosted the profile of Student, but also gave Branson a closer look into the industry. These interactions were invaluable, as they provided not just business insight, but also fostered relationships that would later support the venture in music production and artist management. Through these learnings and experiences, Branson was preparing himself for a significant leap, transforming his entrepreneurial ventures from a magazine and mail-order record business into a full-fledged record label. This next step would require stacking all his skills, knowledge, and connections he had gathered from his earlier 0 points, setting the stage for the launch of Virgin Records. Richard Branson's journey into launching Virgin Records was a masterclass in stacking skills as well as experience, each layer adding strength and depth into his business accomplishments. Initially, the student magazine provided him with a platform to understand and connect deeply with the youth of the market, a demographic that would become the cornerstone of his future enterprise. As he moved into selling records via a mail-order system, advertised in Student, Branson further refined his understanding of the market demands and logistics. This venture into the music business not only solidified his role within the industry, but also tested his ability to innovate under pressure, providing low-cost alternatives to traditional record purchasing channels. Each successful venture served as a stepping stone to the next, with the magazine's credibility boosting the record business, and the record business laying the groundwork for a full-fledged record label. By the time Branson was ready to launch Virgin Records, he had already established a trusted brand, a loyal customer base, and a network of industry contacts. He also honed a business model that emphasized undercutting the competition while maintaining high customer satisfaction. These stacked 0 points ensured that Virgin Records was not starting from scratch, but instead moved by the momentum of Branson's previous success. Throughout his journey, Richard Branson maintained a clear guiding light to innovate and improve in whatever market niche he entered. This vision was not just about business growth, but also about creating value for customers. By challenging the status quo and providing better solutions, each pivot from publishing a magazine to entering the music sales and eventually launching a record label was driven by a desire to improve on existing offerings. With Virgin Records, Branson's goal was to transform the music industry by treating artists differently and giving them more freedom and control over their music. This approach not only reshaped how music was produced and distributed, but also how artists were treated within the industry. Branson's identity and goal, rooted in a strong sense of ethical business practices and customer-focused innovation, became deeply intertwined with the Virgin brand. This alignment ensured that each new venture was not just a business expansion, but a step towards a larger societal impact, improving industry standards while enhancing the customer experience at the same time. This phase of Branson's career underscored the importance of starting small and focusing intensely on a single project to build a solid foundation of skills and relationship. The lessons learned and the connections made during this time were critical, forming the bedrock upon which the entire Virgin Empire would be built.